Next up is mission 17, I believe. Just finished up fighting the parasite unit of the skulls last time. Like I said before, I'm going to be focusing a little bit more on the main missions and not try to bog myself down too much with the side ops right now.
Roger.
Not saying that I'll disregard them completely, but I do want to make sure that I don't get to the point where I'm just not really feeling like playing the game anymore because I'm not really progressing with the story. I may end up doing some of the side ups just to kind of get a better bond with Quiet and Diamond Dog. We'll see. Right now I'm okay with where we're at. Oh yeah, I need to go in there and fix all of my problem guys. Let's see here. Just want to, there we go, pull up the chat. Yep, daily bonus. Let's take a look at my staff real quick. Okay. Troublemaker. He's kind of good, though. I'd hate to get rid of him. We've got quite a few diplomats in here too, so that should help. Let's check out this section. Good there. He's the one that's getting people sick. Of course, he's absolutely amazing, but he's a violent troublemaker. Oh, I got Kojima in there, and Ocelot. He's good. He's unsanitary, but he's good. Do I have any low-skilled troublemakers? He's lower. And what was the other one? I had somebody back that was him. He's only a B. I'll get rid of him. I'm not getting rid of any A or higher people right now. Oh wait, I got a lot of people in the waiting room. Yeah. Doom Rhino. You got cool names, people, but can I get any new stuff for quiet? What's this stuff? Ooh, hey. Let's do it. Upgrade any base facilities right now? Nope. Alright. Let's go over here. Alright. Select equipment. Pretty good. Hadn't been developed yet. Alright. Alright, let's see. see what we do here.
Two of our intel team members are being held captive by the PF in that area, the CFA. Your job is to rescue them. They don't have long to live. It appears that one of our two men has broken out of the encampment and is on the run. He contacted us to say he was surrounded. That's the last we heard from him. Your map is marked with a predicted field of movement based on where his transmissions cut off. The other man is still captive inside the encampment. Boss, rescue our men. Extract them both and get them back to Mother Base. Be careful down there, boss.
Not gonna be that easy, is it? That's where he's at. Where's Quiet at? Alright, Quiet. Gotta...
Quiet.
I want him. That would be a bad place to try and climb up right now.
Fire! Fire!
Dit is Delta 2. Vijandige scherpschutter vloer. Gooi gereed. Oor. Er is CP, begrijp. Wees paraat. Wanneer hulle vergissing. Uit. CP, dit is Zulu 1. Ons het die gevangene gevind en beveilig. We moeten ons voortgaan. Oor. Er is CP, begrijp. Staan vast. En wacht voor verdere bevelen. Uit. CP, dit is Zulu 1. Ons het steeds die gevangene hier. Versoek instructies. Oor. Zulu 1, dit is CP. Ons monitor over die oomlik. Hou net vast. Uit.
Fire!
CP, dit is Zulu 1. Ons het steeds die gevangene hier. Doe die onderzoek. Maar wees versigtig. Uit.
Fire! Fire!
Louis, dat zit hier.
Fire!
Net moet hier opsteken. Hoor. Dat is Louis, kopie.
Fire! Fire!
Zip, het is Delta 2.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Our staff member on the run last contacted us from that forest. The enemy PF already has troops spread out in a manhunt to find him. Keep your eyes open. Extract our man before the search team can find him. Check his location on your iPhone.
Zip, dat is Delta 9. Zag verloren vijand. Bespied laatste punt van contact. Hoor. Dat is CP, begrijp. Houd die voorstek. Punt, holla. Uit.
Gazebo camp, an enemy outpost. It's got good visibility and not many places to hide. Use the landscape wherever possible.
Fire! Fire!
varen troepen in. Uit!
Quiet. Fire. Fire. Quiet.
Champion, dit is jullie 7. Zeg op vaart verloren. Bespreek de punt van contact. Oor. Er is CFD, begrijp. Onderzoek die area. Maar blijf op jullie hoede. Uit!
Fire. Fire.
Probeer, dat zit hier. Opvooit die mortieren en verlam die vijandige lijken. Oor. Dat zullen we in kopie. Bereid voor mortieraanval. Uit! Champion, dit is jullie 7. Zeg op vaart verloren. Bespreek de punt van contact. Oor. Er is CFD, begrijp. Wees op je uitkijk voor die enige beweging. Uit!
Fire. 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 Fire.
Champion, champion, dit is jullie 6. Ons is alle heel erg goed. Stuur versterking. Oor. Negatief. Ons is niks extra niet. Jij is op jouw eier. Uit! Champion is delta 1. Visuele contact verloren. Keer terug naar laatste bekende positie. Oor. Er is CFD, begrijp. Onderzoek die area. Maar blijf op jouw hoede. Uit!
I'm gonna be a little bit greedy here. Ah.
injured. Looks half-starved, too. There's no way he can stand the shock of a Fulton extraction. Get him out by chopper.
They kept saying the disease was her fault. Just shouting it at me. Over and over. Kept saying, you think we're angry?
Roger.
Bastards from Massive Village will bleed you all dry for this.
Hopefully we won't run into any jackals or anything.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Alright, that wasn't so hard.
Rescue the other target. Head for the forest to the north of the encampment.
Wait, what do I gotta do? Where do I find... How many guys do I gotta rescue? Oh, it was just 2. Where's my freaking, oh wait, log maybe? Okay, here we go. Oh, I gotta skate. Skate through the forest north of the camp. That way. Okay.
Our staff member on the run last contacted us from that forest. The enemy PF already has troops spread out in a manhunt to find him. Be can't stay on the run forever. Move quickly, boss.
Alright, let's see if I can get quiet over there.
Flawless work. You never cease to amaze, boss.
Fire! Fire!
You've reached the target's predicted field of movement. If he's gone to ground, he'll have hidden himself somewhere in that area. Find him. Boss, leave the intel files till later. The enemy's on combat alert.
Zip is a Zulu 4. Visuele contact verloren. Keer terug naar laatste bekende positie. Over. De CFD begrijpt. Wees op je uitkijk voor die enige beweging.
It's no good, boss. Attacking like that won't cut it. Aim somewhere else. Or change to a different weapon.
Dat is Delta 6. Visuele contact verloren. Keer terug naar laatste bekende positie. Over. De CFD begrijpt. Houd die voort in punt, holla. Uit.
Oh, frick.
Fire!
CFB, dit is 06. Ons gaten wordt gestopt. Stierversterking op damage. Negatief. Je moet wachten tot ons teruggevaren.
He's coming too. Roger that.
CFB, dit is 06. Verloren vijand. Speed laatste punt van
You gotta extract him.
Dit is CFB, begrijp. Doe niet onderzoek. Maar wees voorzichtig. Uit.
Alright. Should be able to go grab it now, right? How does that work?
The target's transmitter. He must have dropped it trying to contact us again. Judging from its data log, not much time has passed since the transmitter was dropped. He should be close by. I'm updating the target's predicted field of movement. Confirmed extraction of both targets. Boss, on behalf of all the Diamond Dogs, thank you.
Alright, there's a vehicle right over here.
Roger.
Actually, forget that. Let's just run there.
Sweet. I guess it all worked out in the end.
Alright. Brutal tree frog.
Boss, one of the job offers we received concerns me. There's a PF commander who's been talking big about getting into the nuclear arms trade. This could be connected to that yellow cake. And there's another contract I'd like you to handle. It's a wet job, but we need to divert Cypher's attention. Check the mission list for the details.
Boss, sorry to keep you waiting. We finally finished analyzing that yellow cake Cypher was moving. There was nothing unusual about the composition of the yellow cake itself. Most of it was oxidized uranium, with the rest being impurities, various metals as well as traces of organic matter. What's interesting is the composition of these impurities. When we checked them against the impurities found in the copper ore, it was clear the yellow cake didn't come from Shinkolobwe, meaning they went to the trouble of mining two sources of uranium, then transported them together in different states. Another thing, we detected a very thin layer of highly enriched uranium in the middle of the yellow cake. Now that is very interesting. It may not be a lot, but it points to the existence of uranium-enriching technology. After all, yellow cake can't naturally produce highly enriched uranium. If they could mass produce this, they'd be just one step away from a gun barrel-type nuclear bomb. But uranium enrichment requires advanced technology and a large-scale facility. If that kind of place existed in Zaire, the Soviet Union wouldn't sit idly by. And there's another question. Where were they transporting the yellow cake and malachite uranium? The first place that comes to mind is South Africa. The government was supposed to have abandoned nuclear weapons development after caving to international pressure. But rumors persist that it's continued in secret. Plus, CRS were escorting the truck, and they're based out of South Africa. And then South Africa does have an abandoned test site. If Cypher's involved with nuclear development in South Africa. But how would that fit with their weapon to surpass Metal Gear? We need more information.
Shinkolobwe. There's a name I haven't heard in a while.
The U.S. bought a lot of uranium from Shinkolobwe mine during World War II for the Manhattan Project. They even sent a squad from the Army Corps of Engineers to reopen the mine after it was flooded. That's how good its uranium must have been. With that, the world's first nuclear test was a success. Shinkolobwe uranium might have been used in the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs, too. Just hearing its name is like seeing all the phantoms of the war rise up to haunt us. But all the uranium's dried up, and the mine's been closed for years.
So someone reopened it.
Right. Zero-risk security seized control of the area and were forcing locals to work in it. And the Zairean government was getting a slice of what they took in exchange for looking the other way. Mobutu has to finance his tastes somehow. He'll gladly sell the rights to some old mine. The question is, why would zero-risk security do this kind of thing?
Or rather, why were their employers, Cypher, interested in an abandoned mine? They'd be getting trace amounts of uranium, yet to the naked eye it appears to be ordinary malachite, meaning security would be lax. Not a very efficient way of obtaining it, but easier to move.
But how would they enrich it at its destination?
Did the yellow cake really have a layer of highly enriched uranium in it?
Having trouble believing it?
No. If they say it's real, then it's real. In which case, they might have some enrichment method that we don't know about.
And this was to test it out?
It's possible. And that would mean it's almost complete.
Rogue Coyote operates mainly out of Africa these days. Of the three PFs, they're the smallest. However, they scooped up most of the Rhodesian SAS after the country collapsed 4 years ago. Picture their entire organization as one big special forces unit. With Rhodesia a British colony, the Rhodesian SAS had its origins in 22 SAS Sea Squadron. They started out as a group known as the Southern Rhodesia Volunteers, but in '51 they were incorporated into 22 SAS as members of the British Commonwealth and deployed to fight guerrillas in the Malayan emergency. Even now, 22 SAS keeps the Sea Squadron designation empty in recognition of their service. In a way, you could say the SAS almost makes up the core of Rogue Coyote. Later on, they were bolstered by other talent, including former Celis Scouts and 32 Battalion. These guys are direct descendants of the best special forces in the world. They won't go down without a fight. Don't get careless. Kungenga Mine. A civil war's been going on in that region for the last 20 years. It's being fought by what are now two ethnic groups, the Buta and the Mbele. Originally, you could barely tell them apart, but the reason for the current armed conflict goes back to World War I. After the war, their land was colonized by a European power, and it decided to give local control to the Buta. That split the two groups into rulers and subjects, laying the foundations for an inevitable civil war. The friction between them remained even after they won independence from Europe. The Buta are holding on to power to this day, and the Mbele rebels continue to fight back. The conflict is funded by locally mined gold, rare metals, diamonds. They've used the money from those to arm themselves, buy oil, and even hire PFs. The Buta administration owns the mining rights to Kungenga Mine, but most of the laborers are Mbele, who they've taken prisoner. The product...
I need to restart that. I wasn't paying attention. How do I restart it?
Out of their land.
There we go.
Kungenga Mine. A civil war's been going on in that region for the last 20 years. It's being fought by what are now two ethnic groups, the Buta and the Mbele. Originally, you could barely tell them apart, but the reason for the current armed conflict goes back to World War I. After the war, their land was colonized by a European power, and it decided to give local control to the Buta. That split the two groups into rulers and subjects, laying the foundations for an inevitable civil war. The friction between them remained even after they won independence from Europe. The Buta are holding on to power to this day, and the Mbele rebels continue to fight back. The conflict is funded by locally mined gold, rare metals, diamonds. They've used the money from those to arm themselves, buy oil, and even hire PFs. The Buta administration owns the mining rights to Kungenga Mine, but most of the laborers are Mbele, who they've taken prisoner. The product they've gouged out of their land is bought up by cheap Western corporations, and the civil war is fueled by the profits. That's how it goes. One country's people is split apart by another country. Then the two groups tear up their own land for money in order to fight each other. Now this civil war started by a foreign power is the norm, and it's sucking up all the country's resources. PFs are just the same. They follow the money, taking war with them wherever they go. That goes for us too. It's an endless river of bloody retaliation, and we're standing downstream. Should we make a stand and staunch the flow? Or wade in amongst the corpses and make a bigger splash than the rest? We'll follow your lead, boss.
Which one do I not have anything on? Huh. Alright. He's the guy that's in the brig. Oh, it's quiet. She do anything if you stare at her long enough? Anything other than the little nod? Okay. I guess I could have done most of that without being on the stream like that. Because I don't really think I'm going to continue right now. There's some other stuff that I need to do. That's kind of odd that it's in a diamond shape. Anyway, now that I've kind of messed around long enough, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. Maybe play some more a little bit later, and I'll keep slowly plugging away at the different missions.